the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Data Global Hub. He's also the Chief Executive Officer of AI Every Time, joining us right here virtually. He's joining us from the United States. That's Moieed Abisiga. Moieed, good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. So AI comes with the goods and the bads because, for instance, there are many reports that indicate that entry-level jobs are almost out. And yet it also comes with the potential, but it also brings with it increased cyber activity and threats. And issues like misinformation, deep fakes, and all of that, they are also a threat that comes with this huge adoption of AI. Can businesses still control their brand narratives with this?
Yes, businesses can control their brand narrative with this. So, firstly, like they have to come up with like a standard way of doing this, and so firstly, like they have to. One way I would recommend is that so maybe if like things being said about businesses online. Let's say, for example, a company. So one thing that they can do is they can use a way to assess maybe kind of things that are being said about their brand online, maybe in terms of sentiment or maybe in terms of misinformation. There are so many tools out there like that can do that, like some tools that you can use to assess like the risk or um, the sentiments around like what they are saying about your brand, and then based on that, like some measures can be taken or some plans can be put into place to avert that. Like say, maybe if after assessing what is being said about your brand online through like AI, then you can maybe make a public disclosure, like letting everyone know that that's not what is the right thing because like you've been able to assess what is being said online using AI. So that's one way I would recommend. That's one way I would recommend like to avoid that. Then also like if you find anything being said or being published about like your brand or maybe about the company, you can also like post publicly that okay this particular information that is being published online that is false or something like that. So I've seen a lot of deepfake pictures or videos all around the internet. Like I think um, there was one around war or something like that. There was really nothing happening around the war, and then like it was causing a lot of conflict and a lot of issues on the internet. So first thing is to first be able to even know what is being said, like maybe using like some tools or developing an AI system to first find out those things and then publicly disclosing that these things are not right. And then if you are the one producing those media, if you are the one publishing things and you are using AI to actually publish those information, like you can also, create some form of filters around the like generation of those contents to make sure that it doesn't talk about some certain things or some things that could create maybe issues of misinformation. For example, maybe talking about political opinions or maybe things that usually cause conflict in the society. So there are ways to actually create limitations for all those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm glad that you went that way because I was just about to ask you the precautionary steps. So you've noted one or two of them, which is if you're a content creator, then you can put some, I think, buzzwords or something. That's what they call it when it has to do with those things. It will trip off. But what about for those who are not content creators, businesses who find their brands being misconceived or misrepresented through AI?
Mostly, so I think it's a good thing that we have ethics like in AI and regulations in AI. So I think the first thing is that is I will put this in everyone's hands. So like if I was, and I also say that everyone like should support or to push more for ethics regarding AI. So if everyone knows that there's ethics or there are regulations regarding AI, so they know that there's like there's a penalty for doing that, or and is in everybody's hands. It's a responsibility for everyone to make sure that whatever they are putting out there is correct. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is that brands to also have to create defensive and or armor of tools or whatever to make sure that whatever is being said about their brand is being monitored strictly, like detecting words or sentiments on the internet, or maybe even images or everything, like constantly running that tool to check what is being said about their brand and maybe giving it a risk score, maybe medium, low, or high. If it is high, then like probably a press release has to be made or a public announcement has to be made to
Mm.
like to like to revert that or to like publicly acknowledge that that's false or something like that. And then if it's medium, maybe other ways could be. So that's what can come to my head right now regarding that. But obviously, it's something I can also think of creative ways, like later on how to solve that.
All right, Mojeed, thank you so much for that. So obviously, more work for CEOs and businesses to keep their brand safe and well arranged or well branded. I guess that's what I want to say. Mojeed Abisiga is the CEO and founder of Data Global Hub. He's also the CEO and founder of AI Every Time. Thank you so much for your time.